Vice Chancellor, Academic, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Development, the Registrar, the Bursar, and the University Librarian. The inaugural lecturer, Professor ABEOKUTA Akinwale, Deputy Dean, College of Physical Sciences, other deans and directors, Head, Department of Computer Science, other heads of departments and units, members of the Akinwale family, invited guests, members of the university community, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and our own great Funabites. Great Funabites. Great Funabites. The way you are doing it appears just matriculated. Great Funabites. Thank you very much. I'm delighted to welcome you all to the 68th edition in the series of inaugural lecture of the Federal University of Agriculture, ABEOKUTA. Inaugural lecturer of today, Professor ABEOKUTA Akinwale, was born on May 10, 1964 in Kajola, Obafemi Owode local government area of Ogun State. He was born to the family of late Nasiru Akanbi and Rabiatu Abeke Jinadu Akinwale. Professor Akinwale had his early education at St. James Primary School, Kajola, and secondary school at Majo Grammar School, ABEOKUTA, where he finished in 1980. Professor Akinwale won 1984 Polish Award from Polish government under the Bureau for External Aid, Federal Ministry of Education, Science and Technology to study mathematics in Poland. He attended University of Lodz to study Polish language. Later, he proceeded to Oscar Land University of the Rock Club. Where he obtained Master of Science in Computer Science and Economic Cybernetics in 1990. In 1994, he bagged a PhD in Economic Informatics at the same university. Professor Akinwale had another Master of Science degree in Informatics in 2005 at the Warsaw University, Warsaw, and another PhD in Informatics in the year 2015 at the Technical University, Poland, under the Polish scholarship. Professor Akinwale began his academic career at the Institute of Informatics, Oscar Land University, as a graduate assistant under the supervision of Professor Dr. Jacek Ockman in 1991. He became an assistant lecturer in 1994. He joined the Federal University of Agriculture, ABEOKUTA in 1998 as a lecturer 1 and has since risen to the position of a professor of computer science in 2012. His research efforts have resulted in publication of more than 60 articles in learned journals and other outlets. A very effective academic and mentor, Professor Akinwale has supervised many undergraduate and postgraduate diploma projects, as well as over 71 postgraduate research theses at both master's and PhD levels. Professor Akinwale has held several administrative positions, among which are coordinator of the defunct Mathematical Sciences Department, acting head of the Department of Computer Science, Deputy Dean and acting Dean, the College of Natural Sciences, Chairman and Postgraduate Board of Business Committee on Abstract, Ad hoc Committee on University Teaching Facilities, Information Communication Technology Board Management, and among others. In addition to the above, Professor Akinwale has served in notable statutory body and committees in the university, such as the University Senate, Appointments and Promotions Committee, and many standing and ad hoc committees of the university. As a mark of national relevance, Professor Akinwale has been external examiner for both MSc and PhD candidates, external assessor for professorial ranks, as well as visiting capacity in Nigeria and abroad. He's a member of the Nigerian Computer Society, Computer Professional of Nigeria, and Polish Academy of Science. Professor Akinwale is married to Mrs. Oluwatoyin Abosede Akinwale, and the marriage is built with successful children to the glory of God. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and privilege to invite Professor Adio Taofiki Akinwale from the Department of Science. It is my honor and privilege to invite Professor Adio Taofiki Akinwale from the Department of Computer Science, College of Physical Sciences, to present his inaugural lecture titled Bigger and Better Database for Innovative Advancement in Industrial Revolution. Thank you for your attention and God bless you.
The Vice Chancellor, Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, Deputy Vice Chancellor Development, members of the Governing Council, the Registrar, the Bursar, the University Librarian, Active Dean or Deputy Dean, College of Physical Sciences, Deans of other colleges, Directors of Unit, Institute and Centers, Head, Computer Science Department, Heads of other departments, members of the University Senate, all academic staff, members of my family, captains of industry, friends, guests of the university, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen of the press, and great Funabite. Great Funabite. Great Funabite. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, it is a great pleasure and honor to stand before you and your management team today to give my inaugural lecture as a professor of computer science in the Department of Computer Science, College of Physical Science of this great and unique Federal University across ABEOKUTA. My journey as an academic in this great university started as lecturer 1 on October 28, 1998, and completed my appointment as professor in 2012. This is the first inaugural lecture from the Department of Computer Science and the second from the former Mathematical Science Department, from which the Department of Computer Science emerged in 2005-2006 session. The first titled Total Quality in Mathematical Panacea for National Productivity Improvement was delivered by Professor Adewale Ronald Tolani in 1999. This is also the third inaugural lecture from the College of Physical Sciences, coming after those of Professor Joseph Adewale and Professor Mrs. Catherine Ojemisele of Department of Physics and Department of Chemistry, respectively. Inaugural lecture is an opportunity for the newly promoted or appointed professor to inform colleagues in university and general public about research career so far, and update colleagues on their current and future research directions. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to present the 68th inaugural lecture on what I may call a harvest of my research contributions, summarily framed under the title Bigger and Better Database for Innovative Advancement in Industrial Revolution. The topic was chosen to really throw some light on my field of specialization in computer science, knowledge database system, and my contribution to learning, research, and service to the university and the wider community. With every source of ability, I crave your agency to join me as we explore my research work and found this over the years. The time data database is a fact or figure that can be analyzed or used to gain knowledge or make decisions. Data is the color of pattern which is rarely used, and it means what is given or what is known in Latin. The basic building block of data is a character. This is the combination of zeros and one in either American Standard Code for Information Interchange or a standard binary coded decimal interchange code. This ASCII in form of zeros or ones is a language that computers understand. Table 1 shows rudimentary ASCII code. For example, if you have letter 2, capital A, small letter X, and symbol hash, it will be 50 for 2, 65 for A, 120 for X, and 34 for symbol hash. The corresponding binary code in memory by combining 0 with bit will be this for 50, this for 65, this for 120, and this for 35. This is how the numbers, symbols, and letters that we type, either through computer or mobile phone, will appear in memory. Once data have been processed by the computer, they are called information. Figure 1 illustrates the chain of forward a database from byte to byte data, combination of data from record from file, and combination of file from database. Data can also take form of photograph, sound, video, music, and display elements. These forms of data are represented in computer with different data types. Some of the common types of data include the following: a single character, boolean, true or false, text, string, numbers, integer or float, picture, sound, video. Database is a collection of information that exists over a long period of time, over many years, which is managed by a database management system. The database management system is a powerful tool for creating and managing large amounts of data efficiently and allow it to persist over a long period of time safely. It's essential to every sector: agriculture, economic, business, marine, etc. Whenever you visit a major website such as Google, Yahoo, Amazon, or thousands of smaller sites that provide information, there is a database behind the scene serving up the information you request. Many people interact either directly or indirectly with the database system. Through credit card statement, bank teller, airlines, installation agent. The automated teller machine come along and let user interact directly with the database. Phone interface to computer allows user to deal directly with the database. Phone could be used by the student to register courses in the university. The internet revolution of the late 1990s sharply increased direct user access to database. For example, when you access an online bookstore and browse a book, you are accessing bookstore in the database. When you enter a request online, your request is stored in the database. When you access a bank website and retrieve your bank statement and transaction information, the information is retrieved from the bank database system. Before the introduction of database management system, organizations store information in file processing system. Keeping organizational information in the file processing system has several major disadvantages. Consider a program to transfer 5,000 naira only from the account balance of Mr. Adi to the account balance of Mr. Abatunde. If a system failure occurs during the execution of the program, it is possible that the 5,000 was removed from the balance of Mr. Adi, but was not credited to the balance of Mr. Abatunde, resulting in inconsistent database state. Clearly, it is essential for database consistency that either both the credit and debit occur or that neither occur. The transfer of 5,000 must be atomic. The transfer must happen in its entirety or not at all. In file processing system, if number of application programs share the same data, increased substitution might lead to interface explosion. Figure 2 illustrates interface explosion of file processing system. For example, what will happen if in the banking system, maintaining account during system failure allowed the money in the account to disappear? This difficulty, among others, prompted the development of database system. As indicated in figure 3, application program, which is high-level programming language, such as C, Java, Python, and Pascal. Access database through database management system, such as MySQL, SQL, Microsoft Access, the base Oracle. In other words, database management system serves as the gatekeeper for database and application programs. All access to data in database is performed through database management system, which understands and manipulates the logical data structure in the file. The only fear is that organizations put all data in a single basket. If anything happens to the basket, then that's the end of data in database. This aspect of not losing the data in database, together with other problems, are part of what computer scientists have been trying to solve in their research works. Herman Holroyd was an American businessman, inventor, and statistician who developed an electromechanical tabulating machine for punch card to assist in summarizing information. Holroyd's idea for using punch card from data came after he had seen how punch card was used to control Jacques looms. Jacques, a weaver who worked in France around 1810, originated the idea of using rolls punched in a cast stock to control the pattern in a loom weaver. The use of punch card in Jacques loom also influenced Charles Babbage, who decided to use punch card to control the sequence of computations in his proposed analytical engine. Holroyd's invention of the punch card tabulating machine, patented in 1884, marks the beginning of the era of mechanized binary code and semi-automated processing system. He founded a company that was amalgamated in 1911 with several other companies to form the Computing Tabulating Recording Company. In 1924, the company was renamed International Business Machine. Holroyd is regarded as one of the seminal figures in development of data processing. In 1950, early 1960, magnetic tapes were developed for data storage. Data processing tasks such as payroll were automated with data stored tapes. Processing data consists of reading data from one or more tapes and read data into a new tape. The late 1960s and 70s witnessed the use of hard disk. Hard disk allowed direct access to data. Processing data on disk was immaterial, since any location on disk could be accessed in just tens of milliseconds. Data were freed from the tyranny of sequentiality. With the hard disk, a computer could theoretically update on at the time as new data came in and generate report as needed based on the current data. Solutions such as hashing, linked listing, indexing, file from algorithm were quickly devised. The earliest design of database were called the hierarchical and network model. The hierarchical model represents data as records which are connected with links. Each record has a parent record, starting with the root record. Figure 4 illustrates a hierarchical model. They are examples used by Microsoft in the Windows registry and the file system. The hierarchical database, this solves many of the problem of paper-based system of commercial paper journal, ledger, filing, document, etc. In 1969, computer scientists of computer data system and language released a network model. It was the next significant innovation in database. It overcame the decision of the hierarchical model. And so figure 5. This model allowed relationship and has a schema that show dramatic representation of the relation like in real life. The network and hierarchical model were used throughout 1960s, 1970s because they offer better performance. Charles Bashman designed the first computerized database in the early 1960s, which was known as the Integrated Data Store. The IDC was designed to be used with a high-level programming language of common business-oriented language, and the IDC was shortly followed by the Information Management System, a database created by IBM in 1966. The IMS remained in use as of 2014. Edgar Frank Ted Cody was an English computer scientist who worked for IBM. He was unhappy with the approach of IDC and IMS because of lack of search facility. In 1970, Cody wrote several papers that outlawed a new approach to database construction that eventually culminated in the groundbreaking of paper titled Initial Model of Data for Large Shared Data Bank. In his paper, he described a new system for storing and working with large databases. Instead of record being stored in some sort of linked list of free-form record, as in the coders, Cody's idea was to organize the data as several tables. Coding used mathematical time to define the model, relation, tuples, and domain, rather than tables, rows, and columns. The model also enabled coherent proportion to be defined in terms of the established discipline of first-order predicate calculus, because this operation have clear mathematical property. Figure 6 illustrates relational database model. This allows relational database to show how one table relates to another. The IBM has invested heavily in IMS model and was not interested in Cody's idea. In 1973, Michael Stonebraker and Gen Wang at University of California, Berkeley, picked up Cody's paper and did research on relational database system, which is related to interactive graphic and retrieval system. They demonstrated that a relational database model could be efficient and practical. The Ingress worked with query language known as Square. This pressured IBM to develop structured query language database system in 1974, which eventually replaced Square as a more functional query language. In 1976, MTT relationship was proposed by P-Chain. This model made it possible for designers to focus on data application instead of logical data table structure. In 1980, SQL became the standard query language. The SQL allowed an application to gain access to data needed by a user. In early 1990, Oracle database management system was developed by IBM. In the middle of 1990s, Internet came out, which led to exponential growth of database industry. Average desktop user can use client-to-server database system to access computer systems that contain legacy of data. With increase in use of point-of-sale technology, online transaction process and online analytical process system began to come of age. Not only structural query language came out about as a response to the internet and the need for faster speed as well as process of unstructured data. The wide use of not only SQL can be connected to the service offered by Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Google. The first half of 2000 saw the emergence of extensible markup language and the associated query language of SQL as a new database technology. The XML is widely used for data exchange as well as storing certain complex data types. Presently, we have new SQL, which is a class of modern relational database that aim to provide the same scalable performance of not only SQL system for online transaction processing. In today's world competition, information which is stored in database is a key to success. Availability of right information from the database at the right time can make all the difference. Today, relevant information for database outweigh the price of gold. Internet and World Wide Web, which are bigger and better database, have changed the way we work, learn, and stay in touch with others. You can purchase almost anything without wasting time and money. And you can purchase almost anything without physically traveling to a store. You can quickly locate products and services via internet that may not be available in our geographical locations. This happened to the powerful database, bigger and better database for innovative advancement in industrial revolution. Without database, we will still be losing valuable information, and the digital revolution will not have happened. The coming industrial revolution, also called Industrial 4.0, will be driven by data, and it will transform the lives to every customer and business in the world. Today, database is the fifth utility after water, electricity, gas, and telephone, and third in information technology after personal computer and internet. Companies use bigger and better database in their system to improve operations, provide better customer service, create personalized marketing campaign, and take other action that ultimately can increase revenue and profit. Thousands of data are created and used daily every second. The real-life example are communication data we purchase from telecommunication providers such as MTN, Glo, Airtel, and transaction in bank, government, and industry. This made room for a bigger database due to the geometric increment in the volume of information produced by a user to be stored in database daily. However, reliability, efficiency, and effectiveness due to this increase must be guaranteed. In fact, it has been discovered by some school of thought that the basic needs of life, such as good shelter and clothing, are not enough without information. as we are in information age. Meanwhile, there is a need for a better database to accommodate this set of ever-increasing information, which must be accurate, reliable, secured, etc. Furthermore, for a global innovative advancement in all facets of life, bigger and better databases are necessary as an engine that prepares any innovative drive for proper record storage and retrieval for a quality decision-making process in the era of industrial revolution, with support of artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things, etc. Data mining techniques are now widely deployed. Examples of applications include web-based product recommendation system and automatic placement of relevant advancement on web page. Of course, a way for further breakthrough in areas ranging from gain sequence to nanotechnology, from renewable energy to quantum computing. It is the fusion of this technology and the interaction across the physical, digital, and biological domain that make the fourth industrial evolution fundamentally different from previous evolution. And the engine that will drive it successfully is bigger and better databases. There are many forms of database, both structured and unstructured, that have been designed for specific data. Among them are listed below. A database model is a type of data model that determines the logical structure of database and fundamentally determine in which manner data can be stored, organized, and manipulated. Common logical data model for database include flat database, hierarchical, as listed below. Database architecture focus on design, development, implementation, and maintenance of computer programs that store and organize information for business, agency, and institution. Database architecture develop and implement software to meet the needs of the users. Design can be centralized, or hierarchical. The architecture of the database management can be seen as either single tile or multi-tile. For example, one-tile architecture involves putting all the required components for a software application or technology on a single server or platform. Challenge of database management system. There are many recent databases from which many companies are finding it difficult to choose and evaluate. There is a limit on scalability of database management system as other software program, operating system, compiler, and configuration of hardware have limitation or resource usage. The increase in data volume is another challenge to database system. Research shows that we have created more data in the past 2 years than in the entirety of the human race. Data security is another big challenge in the field of database management system. The centralization of database management system is also a challenge. The question is, how will data be distributed, which is still a big challenge. There are several databases in Nigeria, such as Independent National Electoral Commission, National Identity Management System, Federal Road Safety Commission, Bank Verification Number in the Nigeria Banking System, Nigeria Telecommunication Operator, National Youth Service Corp, etc. These databases are not unified, and data in each one are not aware of the others. For example, Mr. Ade, who lives in Bodija, Ibadan, Oyo State, according to his record with the NYSC, may be living in Challenge Street, Lagos, according to the BVN database. Hence, it is very difficult to trust data in Nigeria database. The database of the Federal Safety Commission capture record of all persons capable of driving on Nigerian road. The INEC database always obtain record with mismatched surname, date of birth, place of birth, and wrong addresses, which are not in line with the principle of database. During the coronavirus pandemic in Nigeria, it was difficult to distribute palliative materials to people as it resulted to depletion, where some people might register in 2 or more states within a short period of time. Today, it is difficult to determine whether some headsmen are Nigeria, since there is no centralized database to capture them. It is not possible to use database in Nigeria to plan for either economic growth or national planning. The introduction of biometric international identification management system could serve as a central database system for the nation. This will play a vital role in driving social economic development and security of the nation. A few findings from my personal and collaboration side work is presented in this section. In 1991, effort was made to design an accounting system for processing financial interests of jointly owned company, which show the capital contributed and completed by participants, as well as how this capital are utilized in running the business. The system itemizes accounting items owned by a party for the purpose of up-to-date record and safeguarding them. The system showed the company liabilities contingency fund and expenses incurred by both investor and vendor to relation to their interests. Design this system digests the solution of concatenation of individual components of accounting items jointly owned company into one system. Emphasis was put on documentation of this system with respect to the file design, input use, and final output for decision making. The same design collected business transactions and arranged them in their specific master file. Information in every file was processed step by step and could be easily modified during inflation and changes in certain accounting rules and regulations. Later on, a design support system was built to evaluate the financial strength and profitability of joint venture company by employing untranslated and translated statements using temporal and current methods. The interpretation of translated statement against untranslated gave a fuller picture of the joint venture financial position and performance. The information in translated statement is more reliable than information in the untranslated statement using temporal method. In another effort, fragmented knowledge base was for translated statement operation was carried out in rule forms. These rules were analyzed, programmed, and stored by using microprogramming Quattro without repetitive. The program allowed both venturer and investor to keep track of their financial rule and use the presented information for interactive decision making. Error-backed propagation algorithm and regression analysis were also used to analyze and predict untranslated and translated Nigeria stock market price. A 0 unit variance transformation was used to normalize the input variable in order to allow the same range, which make them to differ by order of magnitude. A 5G1 network topology was adopted because of 5 input variables, which variable J was determined by the number of ID neurons during network selection. The untranslated and translated normalized Nigeria stock market price serve as input into the both error-backed propagation algorithm and regression model, which were written in Java programming language. Simulation was performed and results were analyzed and compared. The performance of translated Nigeria stock market price using regression analysis or error-backed propagation was more superior to untranslated Nigeria stock market price, even in terms of percentage accuracy. An attempt was made to use semantic schema model to easy and facilitate query formulation as against relational database. A misfit function was employed to derive query path that produced desired result. Different modules were written to display user-friendly menu and convert conceptual query language syntax to structured query language form. This approach allowed end user to formulate query in a more user-friendly format. It also allowed formulation of query that entail more than 2 entities, thereby avoiding creation of virtual relations which normally occupy large spaces in database environment and a very fast query processing time. A generalized assignment method and a select conjugate creation method were used to manage dynamic storage allocation in distributed database system. They view different node storage capacity with applied host memory capacity and generate remark. The work concluded that extended conjugate creation method is more efficient than generalized assignment method as an optimization technique in managing the dynamic storage allocation in distributed database system. The front edge and direct authoring with hypertext Markov language were used to design web pages as they relate to world environment. The two web methods generate code which produce the same result. Results were evaluated and recommended to were proposed. We found that it is desirable to design web page on direct authoring with HTML. Effort was also made to determine functionality that could be incorporated into a database management system that operates in an open network system environment. This functionality includes application of open password for open database system, creation of register database, creation and monitoring of active log file, creation of privacy log on schema, and application of locking control on file. A system was designed and implemented with simple database which provide security for open database system by desired users. Multi-level cryptographic functions for the functionality of open database system were proposed as open password entry with active box and agent. The design implementation will allow users to have free access into open database system. Integrate this scheme into an open database system is viable in practice in terms of ease of use and improved security level of information. A research was also carried out to select 3 good hash functions which uniformly distribute hash value that permit their internal state and allow the input bit to generate different outputs. These hash functions were used in different levels of hash table that are coded in Java program language, and a quite number of data records serve as primary data for testing the performance. Research showed that the two-level hash table with 3 different hash functions gave a superior performance over one-level hash table with 2 hash functions or 0-level hash table with 1 function in terms of reducing the conflict key and quick lookup for a particular element. The result is set to reduce the complexity of joint operation in query language from quadrant to linear by placing larger query result, if any, in multi-level hash table with multi-hash function and generate shorter query results. Recent research development on egocentric social network focus on the cause and consequence of relationship among set of people rather than on the features attribute data of individual and their basic database operation. An effort was made to describe a record type of network data model that would be suitable to perform database operation in social network analysis. The research work described the 2 schemas that would be needed for web space interface and database operation. A first directed algorithm was used to display membership vertex that show link of membership number, name, and pictures. A breadth first search algorithm was embedded to avoid endless searching in the circle nodes. Measurement of degree of centrality, betweenness, and closeness was incorporated to determine the relationship among the nodes and their linkages. Implementation of this database operation into social network analysis revealed not only social information, but also critical economic report of the individual. Observation of the work showed that user can impose any relevant query related to the defined schema, and result will be available to monitor both social and economic activity of the membership. Design normalized relation is a subject of great difficulty, but of great importance. Effort was made to present automatic derivation of database key as a step forward solution to design normalized relation. The research work studied relation schema and their functional dependency to derive key for primary, candidate, alternate, and super key of relational database. The research algorithm to derive database key were analyzed, modified, and coded in Java program language to display graphical key derivation input interface. The input interface accepts any letter of schema, attribute, and functional dependency to compute power set, F closure, derived keys, and specific group of keys, which aid the database designer to control anomaly at initial stage of database design. The system also assists the student to find, see, and learn database key derivation. The effect of the system has a positive impact on student performance or normalization technique, because several show the interface of the implementation of automatic key verification. These keys are very important in the process of normalization, decomposition, lossless join, and dependency preserving. For example, determining candidate key for a small relation like this is easy, while determining candidate for a large relation of many functional dependency is very difficult. The condition of the composition says that the composition relation R into R1 and R2 is lossless if only if one of the following dependency is in F closure. This means that attribute R1 and R2 must contain candidate key, as my research has proved. Application of lossless join algorithm for each normal form and reverse the decomposed relation without errors were also established in my research. The work also resolved the problem of join operation. The problem is which key must be used if you have this type of select from many tables with many joins. Is it primary key or alternative key? A visualization tool for teaching and learning decomposition of research database schema has resolved the following problem: determine database key, normalization scheme, decomposition when there is a violation, lossless join after decomposition, dependency preserving on the composed relation, joint operation of 2 or more relations. This problem, if they are not properly resolved, might lead to poor database design, anomalies, and poor matching, which have been addressed in my research contributions. A framework for reducing multi-dimensional database to 2 dimensions was proposed using matrix decomposition algorithm. It employed decomposition algorithm based on Boyce coding normal form to minimize anomalies. Decomposition and reversal algorithm were used on relationship among objects, attributes, and were implemented. The implemented algorithm on sample relative data set up to 10 dimensions. It was shown that multi-dimensional data set could be reduced to 2 dimensions And it was established that the time taken to generate a sequence of tuples from multi-dimensional database to a two-dimensional dataset was directly proportional to the number of gains considered. Research showed that the reduced two-dimensional database did not require any inbuilt function, which take long processing time for generating query result, as again query a multi-dimensional dataset. The reduced two-dimensional dataset was reversible to the original multi-dimensional dataset for lossless join operation, which indicated that there was no loss of data, value, or tuple. The method was compared with existing reduction technique, and it was found that data access was very fast with the composition algorithm than relational model. Figure 8 illustrates the performance of the two methods. A hierarchical database model for query economic network independent distribution of goods and services was carried out and implemented alongside B-tree and pre-order algorithm to insert reverse participant record for easy processing. N-level model were adopted to calculate each level and sub-level cluster condition. A user interface was designed for easy interaction with the system. User can interact with the system by moving the mouse across the node at any level or hierarchical database model. At each node, user can view their position on the hierarchical tree as well as their deal commission. A form is always displayed for the user to query the system for any decision making. The major problem is that the user must have basic knowledge of writing simple structural query language statement. Test similarity proved to be useful in various tasks of sync processing system. N-gram method has been proposed to locate exact matching in test processing application. Generalized N-gram matching technique during substring processing tend to be time consuming and occupies large spaces. This factor motivates to explore the feature of generalized N-gram matching technique for electronic text that will be to provide low computational time, easier implementation, and possibly translates into effective usage. This motivates for the development of new similarity measure, which will overcome most of the unsaturated feature of generalized N-gram method. 5 new similarity measure of bi-N-gram, tri-N-gram, set-based 3-gram, odd-gram, and sum-square-gram method have been proposed to improve the performance of generalized N-gram matching technique in electronic text and programming language, substantive questions, case-based reasoning, medical database technology, and word list. The N-gram was modified like this. The same tri-N-gram and odd-gram method is derived like this. Some square-gram for 2 strings were also derived like this. And set-based diagram use the theory of a set similarity measure as follows, and the method is derived like this. Each new method has its pros and cons in terms of text processing application. One way to improve over the baseline of the sample will be to use different data sets for testing the performance of each method along with the existing method. 5 data sets that are used are similarity measure, word list, subjective question, programming language code, case-based reasoning, and medical database. For example, 2 methods by N-gram and 10 N-gram have been proposed to improve the performance of N-gram model for similarity measure in electronic text and programming language. The effect of modification permits similarity value of the 2 methods to be so close to the expert judgment. The experimental result indicates that by N-gram achieve high performance with quantitative value and outperform other 5 methods. Result obtained from 3-gram in similarity value are very close to the result of expert, which indicates that it can be successfully used in electronic text and programming language. Figure 9, 10, 11, the peak performance by N-gram, 10-gram in electronic text and programming language. In the area of medical database technology, odd-gram, set-based gram, and sum-square-gram method demonstrate a great improvement in the effective and efficient retrieval of relevant medical time from the database to the user's request. Figure 12 describes similarity testing using medical time. In the similarity measure of case-based reasoning, sum-square and set-based 3-gram method have the highest value of similarity measure. They produce low score value of highest force rate and high score value of separation, which are much of the most effective. Experiment conducted on the word list that are derived from the root word as group, set-based 3-gram and sum-square-gram method have high value of similarity measure and performance of pride with low running time of processing. Experiment on subjective question indicated that there was a moderate correlation between average expert score for each student and the similarity value of odd-gram. This showed that odd-gram method seemed to be the most promising and efficient handling spelling and grammatical error in subjective question. It was noted that the performance of set-based gram in similarity of programming language was not satisfactory because most of the discriminating N-gram string reside on Unigram and BNgram. The new method that performed very well in their respective data set computed pattern and text matching with high value of similarity and performance to price with low rate of processing time, which satisfy closeness measurement of similarity predicate. Collaborative research work. I work with my staff, the department. We work together with a follow-up on visualization of an algorithm for real-time database system using model view controller. And result was positive. The same thing, data mining and expert system were combined in design an effective anomaly-based intuition system with Professor Shodia. And data mining in health informatics was done with Professor Noshoga to manage health to enhance strategic decision-making about healthcare. And ontology-based research was also done with Professor Adekoya. The application showed that the choice of suitable method must depend on the theme of ontology evaluation. A work was also done with Dr. Vincent on e-commerce. And the research showed that the intensity of the process in terms of number of alternative and criteria is dependent on both decision-making and knowledge acquisition. And a secure mobile agent protocol was developed to manage network system. This was done with Dr. Ibralu. And IO game was simulated, and the results showed that there is a fair distribution of resources, high cooperation among peers, which was done with Dr. Ojo. And similarity measure have been sent to Yosofik similarity measure for test retrieval. This was done with one of the PhD students, and the new method has been compared with a 60 classical string similarity measure using word list as data set. And the result shows that the information retrieval task as evaluation is based on precision, recall, highest force match, and separation. The same thing we apply to students that are transitioning from GSS1 to SS1 class in Nigeria education system. And the result is positive. Application also developed to enhance the using of the new method. Similarity measure have been also extended to institutionalistic physics similarity measure with application in different domains. This was also conducted with my PhD students, and experience showed that the proposed method gave higher similarity value and lower processing system. Summary of completed ongoing and future research work. The proposed translated statement from untranslated statement using derived temporal method for database that attributes are in a weak currency. Translated statement was also proposed before performing database operations, such as select, project, union, etc. My research will also propose 5 new similarity measures that compute similarity value of 2 machines pattern and reduce processing time and high performance. There's a need for a future work, and we are still working to drive more similarity measure. And the developed method will be applied to other n-gram classification tasks, and any derived similarity measure will not be tied to a particular domain in order to determine where they are most fitted. And the derived method will be extended to other related forcing methods for relevant results. This part of the book I've written and it's online for students to master programming language. Recommendation: there is a need to encourage the incoming computer scientists to develop more interest in programming language rather than engage in hardware and system analysis. Computer science lecturers should be encouraged with dedicated laboratories to demonstrate more practical in computer science courses, as been done in other courses like physics, chemistry, and biology. Also, the relevant advances of the computer science to this present stressor evolution make the need for a college of computing well expanded in this university, as practiced in other universities and stated in the NUC minimum benchmarks. Government should encourage indigenous software application in our industry, company, tertiary institution to promote homemade software application in Nigeria. This will add value to economy and employment. For a university like that of unique University of Agriculture, there should be a unique department of agricultural informatics that will combine expert knowledge from both agricultural and computing domain to bring innovative research benefit to the communities. Acknowledgement. I'm most grateful to the Almighty God who has always guided, protected, and provided for me. I give all glory, honor, and praise. I'm very grateful to my wonderful parents, late Nursery Akombi Akinwale, died 1979, and late Mrs. ABEOKUTA Akinwale, died 2015, who taught me hard work, diligence, respect, honesty, and ingrained me the value of education early in my life. They believe until their death that God is great and school is good. They know my going naked just to pay my school fees. Daddy and mommy, you are the best. I pray for forgiveness of their sin and illumination of their grace. I always thank all my siblings, brothers, sisters, uncles, and aunts for their love, encouragement, and support in my journey of life, both in Nigeria and Poland. My thanks I extend to all my primary and secondary school teachers who made learning incredible assisting. I acknowledge the contribution of Mr. Philip Odito Akinade, Olufula at level primary school, who encouraged my parents to send me to secondary school because of my performance. Otherwise, I could have been a painter. My great principal, who were in the various secondary school, I highly appreciate for studying discipline, law, and other in school, which created a conducive atmosphere for us to pursue our study. I mention particularly late Honorable George Olanipeku, Referee Kusaya, Oluwasomi Akili Kobina Embadi, Kemi Adomi Ajayi, and late Reverend Kennedy Orden. My both primary and secondary school classmates deserve special mention for their total cooperation during after school period. They are Kumapai, Adebayo Oyekule, Timothy Okushe, Tawala Sumbo, Samuel Fulayo Shondi, Rotimi Adeleye, Professor Adegbete, Shesosopo, Dr. Abatula Aridi, Tajid Bada, Olawale Obi, Umbola Abbas, and Mansour Audeji. When I take a deep look at all sweet memory we had shared together during our school days, I can only hold back my happiness. There is a belief that friendship whose formation takes place at childhood is certainly the strongest. My special thanks goes to Mr. Amudeji, a retired principal who made it possible for me to attend the interview of External Bureau Scholarship Award by bringing the interview letter to my house. I thank you so much for your kindness, sincerity, and generosity. My heart just keep thanking you and your family, most especially late Honorable Fulano Mudeji, for everything your family has done for mine. I too thank you to Elders for all his kindness and care for me. I want to put you on record that you gave me my first pair of suit that I wore to Poland in October 1984. I won't forget that of kindness. I'm deeply honored to be found worthy or receive the External Scholarship Award by the Polish government. I was a low place when the scholarship opportunity came. It removed a heavy financial burden from my shoulder and it meant a lot to me and my family. On my journey through his life's path with this art, I acknowledge the cooperation of some lecturers at various points of my academic training, notably late Professor Dr. Abitovar Jacek Hockman, who provided my first MS dissertation, Abitovar Yeshi Tishkevich, professor of my second MS dissertation, late Professor Engineer Dr. Abitovar Andrzej Babolski, who provides my first PhD thesis, and Professor Engineer Dr. Abitovar Adam Nefadomski, supervisor of my second PhD. I need to thank them for their selfless and I will never forget their contribution to my life. I would like to extend my very great appreciation to my academic lecturers, Professor Antonia Smolo, Tadeusz Anashak, which was office, all the cook they taught they are in bracket, and Jacob Spadovich. My special thanks to the Professor Dr. Kishkix, Marcy Engel, Marcy Professor Dr. Alex Schubert, and Dr. Eva Maglideska, Adam Malinovsky, Piotr Sakshevsky, and Jana Masedashkevich, and Zbigniew Yurkevich. I've been so blessed by their contribution and wanted to help me fully grasp their materials. All the classroom scenes are ever fresh in my memory. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Professor Engineer Dr. Abituna Liliana Bishkovska-Lipinska for sponsoring my internship with the Institute of Informatics Technical University, Warsaw, Poland. I had incredible experience. I was given opportunity to work in the computer laboratory with really intelligent people. I'd like to thank Professor Dr. Abitona Jasmowski and Dr. Abitona Agnieszka for taking time to discuss professional field of specialization with me. They demystified the field of my specialization and make it that computer science courses around us are relatable. My thank Dr. Professor Adewale Ronantunde, who made my employment possible as a one in this great university. I thank you for your leadership and disposition. We work together in the defined mathematical science department. Mr. President, sir, kindly permit me to acknowledge my deference to many people in this great university who had acted in their respective capacities to facilitate this day by showing me their love. First among them is, of course, the substantive Vice Chancellor, Professor Felix Kolawole Salako, for giving me the opportunity to present this 68th inaugural lecture. I sincerely appreciate your soft skill that has added positive value to the peace and development of this unique Federal University of Agriculture. I would like to express my deep gratitude to you, sir, for your invaluable support in all aspects. I would like to appreciate the former Vice Chancellor of this university for providing a new environment for me to work with them. Under the second Vice Chancellor, Professor James Okoji, they approved my temporary appointment as Lecturer 1, and I work as a coordinator of the defined mathematical science department under the third Vice Chancellor. I would like to under the third Vice Chancellor, late Emeritus Professor Adu, I was overseer computer science department. Under the acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Shola Damsey, I was acting head computer science department. Under the fifth Vice Chancellor, Professor Laria Olufemi, who was the chairman appointment and approval committee for academic staff that consider and announced my leadership position. And Professor Bamdele, the fifth Vice Chancellor, who appointed as acting dean, the French College of Natural Science, and also announced my professorship position. Professor Ololade Enukome deserves special mention here, as he was the second acting Vice Chancellor of this great Federal University of ABEOKUTA. I want to thank the President Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Mr. B.I. Akedolo, Deputy Vice Chancellor Development, Professor O.B. Akaindi, the Registrar, Dr. Adekola, the Bossa, Esepua, the Librarian, Dr. Mrs. F.N. Lifadi, my proven thank to the current Chairman, Committee of Deans and Director, Professor Lebede, for his kind support in the preparation for this inaugural lecture and his mutual cordiality with my college, irrespective of the postgraduate matter. My thanks go to the former principal officer of the university, Olusan Ariyo Onwokwa, Dagoke Arowale White, Adeofun, and Professor I.C. Eremosele. I'm particularly grateful to my head of department, Professor Lefolojo, for his valuable and constructive advice during the planning of this inaugural lecture. My regards go to my colleagues with whom I have worked over the years and who have inspired me to provide the leadership. Let me mention here Professor E.S. Yudia, Yosami Onoshoga, I will present Ibrahim Abayami Abusadi Ocho Tinubu Adejim Falano, Ngoma and Mrs. Karim. I also appreciate the non-academic staff in the department, Professor Onolapo Alabi Ganiyu. My heart is full of gratitude to the other head of department in the College of Physical Science, Professor Mrs. Modupe Idowu, Olajuwon Badmus, and Dr. Lawala. They are well organized and productive. I would like to appreciate former deans of the College of Physical Science, Professor Oluwamisi Eremosele, Professor Amidu Mustafa, for steering the ship and their continued effort at repairing the college so far. Their efforts of knowledge and faith made me to follow them as the third dean of the college. I thank also the present and past deputy dean, Professor Makinde Akelabi, for their loyalty and support to run the college. My fellow professors in the college remain most appreciated for their mutual support and cordiality. Professor Utashi Adenino Agbola, Omeke, Akeyemi, Adebayo Okeoji, Ayobudade, Dari Adewi. My gratitude goes to other colleagues in the college, notably like as listed below. They deserve special appreciation for their respect, care, and concern toward the running of the college. I also appreciate the dean of our sister college, Professor Acknowledgement, and the former deans, the Fund College of Natural Science, late Professor Iwo Ashiribu, Professor Chiwes Popola, under whom I serve as Deputy Dean, and retired Professor A.D. Agbola. I would like to appreciate present deans and former deans of the various colleges, in this case, university, for the love to me and the College of Physical Sciences. Shisho and the money as listed. I'm sure all my research collaborators, addition of Akinola, Abiola, Akitokun, Ayofagan, Oshipoto, Olanite, who always ask the welfare of my son, Professor Shitu, Ufubena, Ito, Babatunde, Ademiwo, and Adewumi. I especially thank all my students at both undergraduate and postgraduate level in Nigeria and Poland for the opportunity to learn from each other and engagement research. My trip must go to all non-academic staff that touched my life, whom I have directly worked with, notably Agbotoba, Dawodu, Kufureji, Badmos, Banojo, and Adedino. The list of those who to be acknowledged is indeed unlimited. I do sincerely apologize to all those who deserve to be so acknowledged in this piece. Please forgive me, because I'm a gentleman of few words. God knows all of you. I have not owed you anything. So all those present here today, including opting around the world, wishing to the webinar, I remain entirely indebted and hereby informed that comment and criticism remain most welcome. Currently at funab.ed.ng, which will engender my research, further research. Mr. Fashion, sir, we will normally say the best for the last, and my nuclear family occupy this eminent position. They are the soul of this journey and form the solid pillar of the structure. My children, Robert Akwali, Chris Akwali, Sandra Akwali, Victoria Akwali, and Fita Akwali, are my joint fan base and pride. I deeply appreciate my excellent and digital wife, Ms. Roto Abasadi Akwali, for the understanding and conducive atmosphere that allowed me to reach the level of academic achievement. Your presence in my life has made everything beautiful. Thank you so much, being there as a pillar of support and encouragement. My prayer is that God will continue to protect you and the children. He will do bless us with good health and sound mind. I thank you all for your kind attention. I remain loyal and faithful. God bless all of us.
Please sit down. Professor Akinwale, a man of few words, but a writer of many words. On behalf of the Federal University of Agriculture, ABEOKUTA, I present this award of honor to Professor Adio Taufiki Akinwale as the 68th Inaugural Lecturer of the University. Congratulations. I also present this gift from the University Industrial Park to Professor Akinwale. Let me have the list of those who are presenting anything. Please come, Prof. The College of Physical Sciences.
Prof, words are not enough to thank you for doing our college proud. As the sitting Vice Chancellor, as the sitting Dean of the College of Physical. My VC is also smiling. On behalf of your people, staff, both academic and non-academic of the College of Physical Sciences, we present this memento to you to commemorate this occasion and to thank you for your selfless services, for your forthrightness, for your good mind to your people in the college. We pray that not only that God will give you more power to your elbow, but that God will also give you long life and prosper you further. Thank you, our Prof. Let's raise it.
The deputy dean did not make a mistake. He retaliated. Because instead of computer science, I said soil science. Department of Computer Science.
My distinguished professor, my Ashiwaju in the Department of Computer Science, our mentor, we salute you and we appreciate you, sir. On behalf of your constituency, political constituency, Department of Computer Science, we want to appreciate you because you are a man of your little words, so you don't want to speak too long. So congratulations, sir. It's students.
Sir, you have been exceptionally great, and we want to appreciate you, and we are very proud to be associated with you as your students. So on behalf of my colleagues, the 2014 and 2015 MSc Computer Science set, we want to present you this token as an appreciation of your leadership, your training, and your philanthropic gesture. I remember you paid the school fees of some of our colleagues, and that is very outstanding, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Before I go into the next thing, I want to make a passionate plea that when we are presenting things to inaugural lecturers, it should be by group, not individuals. If we start having presentation from individuals, we will not leave this place. Colleges, any group within or outside the university can present, but not individuals, please. I'm starting by saying welcoming to this great family of Professor Akinwale, Mrs. Akinwale Abosede Yeah, but it remains our own. Barrister Ajayi Adewale Habib, former chairman, ABEOKUTA South Local Government. Chief Shola Adipupo, Baale.
Immediate family and other invited guests, VIPs, indicated by the acknowledgement, to exit the hall from the big exits where the reception is waiting with them. And that is to my right. To my right, the academic possession and other indications on the high table exits the hall at the end of this event. And students expected to exit the hall from the central part. Students will be expected to exit the hall from the central part. Please accept your Bible to take. We will have answers. We will buy national answers. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We will now exit the auditorium. As already stated, the academic procession, being led by the dignitaries on the high table, will exit from the right exit. Immediate family members and guests of the inaugural lecturer shall be expected to exit from the left-hand exits, while the students are to exit from the central aisle. Please let us remember that immediately after this event, there will be a film show for our new intakes. A film show for our new intakes immediately after this event. Thank you very much. We appreciate all our guests who have come from far and wide to share in our joy. We say a very big thank you to you and wish you journey messages back to your various destinations.